And now the Boys on the Hills presents the official visit with Southern commit, KJ White.
Appreciate you for having me on.
What's going on, KJ?
Not much.
How you doing today, man?
Good. Just came back from working out. So, just trying to get ready to go into Southern. Get ready
That's
to
what I'm
play.
talking about. So we have KJ here. He's a graduate of Westlake High School here in Atlanta, Georgia. KJ was the Region Player of the Year his junior year. As a senior, he was second team All-State, 6A. KJ, give us a little bit more background about yourself, man.
I'm gonna start from the beginning. When I was a kid, I started playing baseball when I was 3. Fell in love with it ever since. Of course, I played the other sports, baseball, basketball, football. I played the other sports, but I just always stuck with baseball. I loved it more. Um, Growing up as a kid, I always kind of wanted to play in the SWAC. My dad played in the SWAC. My mom went to Jackson State, graduated from Belhaven. My dad graduated from Jackson State. So, like, black baseball was always something I wanted to be a part of. And then when I was 12 years old, I was fortunate to meet Jarrell Johnson, who graduated from Southern University.
Okay.
And I've also met Ricky Weeks, who's like an uncle to me, who graduated from Southern University. So when I met those guys, they introduced me to the Southern culture and the people down there, and legendary coach Roger Cador, and so um, I always knew about how good Southern was in terms of baseball heritage wise, and then um, January of my junior year, Coach Crenshaw got the interim head coach job, and I had
Okay.
already been to the camps when I was 12, leading up to about 16. I had always gone to Jackson State camps because that's where my dad went. So of course, alumni, just wanted me to see the school and stuff like that. So I always knew the coach. And when he got his first head coach job, actually, he was still the head coach. I mean, he was still the assistant coach at Jackson State. He came to the HBCU showcase, which was at my high school at Westlake when I was in 9th grade. And ever since then, we always kept in contact. He said whenever he got a head coach job, that he will always come look for me. So, of course, I was still uncommitted. He came and seen me. He offered me, and from then on, I wanted to go to Southern. So,
Okay. Okay. So you kind of answered one of the questions that I was going to ask you about how were you exposed to HBCU baseball.
yeah.
Um, what do you think culturally drew you into HBCU baseball? Besides the fact that your parents are HBCU grads, what about the HBCU baseball that kind of drew you in?
For me, I think it was just a lot of people feel like you got to go Power Five to get to the next level, which is the MLB or whatever. And I felt like the same amount of players that's good on the Power Five level, the same amount of players good on the SWAC and HBCU level, because a lot of the legendary players from old back in the day, they played in the SWAC or they played at the black schools. So for me, I think what drew me in is just like we got into a trend where a lot of people weren't going to HBCU schools, but the people at these schools are talented too, and they often get forgot about, and they're as good as these other people, but just because they don't go to the big name school per se, they're not as good. So I feel like I could bring the notoriety back to HBCUs as Travis Hunter did with football, and as people are doing with basketball. So that's my route.
So let me ask you this. During your recruiting process, did you prioritize the HBCU schools over the group of 5 and P5 schools, or did you just kind of try to find the best fit for you?
Well, for me, recruiting really picked up around 10th grade, but during my 10th grade year, COVID hit. So I
Okay.
had to take a reality check and say, hey, am I going to be big enough, strong enough to go play Power Five baseball? Because most of the guys, if you're going to Power Five out of high school, if you're not really looking at pro out of high school, you're probably not going to play right away because there's already guys that are bigger, stronger, faster. I'm not the biggest or the strongest or the fastest guy. So for me, when that COVID summer hit, I went in the lab. I worked out really, really hard, but I lost contact with a bunch of those coaches because they had extra guys coming back, and they were so worried about, making sure their team was going to be good. They weren't worried about recruiting. So when I came to Southern, they never ever tried to make me a different player or try to make me a different man or change my position or, hey, you need to do this. They just let me be me from day one. So that's what drew me closer to the school. That's what made me want to go to Southern.
Man, you just answered my other question.
Yeah.
All right. So, when did you realize that you had the potential to potentially play baseball on the next level?
I would say it was a few moments. I'll start to the earliest moment. When I was 12, I got invited to the Elite Development Invitational, which is now called the Hank Aaron Invitational, which is like the best, I think 12, maybe not 12, but like 13 to 16-year-olds in the nation. They go down to Vero Beach, Jackie Robinson Complex, and they play
Okay.
against each other. Now, of course, I'm 12, so I'm still younger than everybody, smaller, shorter. But it was only three of us down there at the same age that are both my best friends now. It was me, Tamar Johnson, who was about to go number one in the draft, and RJ
Right.
Austin, who's going to Vanderbilt or might go in the draft. Um, we all played together growing up. So of course we always had the confidence that hey, we're good enough at our age, but I didn't know if I was good enough to play against older kids. So we
Okay.
went down there. After a few days, I was just being me, having fun, playing the game the right way, but learning at the same time and taking those learning tips and learning them faster than everybody else. Everybody else might take them like 2 or 3 reps to get it. I'm getting it the very next rep. Well, when the end of that week came, they gave out an MVP award, and out of from 12 to 16, I was the one who won it. And I was the youngest kid there. So from there, I felt like okay, I got a chance. And then whenever I would like when I hit like 8th grade, I started playing against high schoolers early. Of course, I was weaker than everybody. I wasn't hitting the ball at the ballpark, nothing like that. But I always competed, and people always love that about me because I never ever like back down or say, "Oh, y'all older than me, so y'all better than me." I always like played up and competed. So from there, I was like, "Man, I'm playing against guys that's already in college. I know I'm good enough to play in college." And then from there, I won Player of the Year, and I did some amazing stuff that year that I was like really opened my eyes. Like, okay, I got a chance in this game. And then this past fall, I went and played the MVP All American game against some of the best guys in the nation. Drew Jones, Elijah Green, they were all down there, and I went down there and held my own. So from there, I felt like, man, I got a chance to really take this game a long way if I just stay on my path, not worry about anybody else's.
So we know the baseball here in Atlanta is like very, very competitive from 12U all the way up. How do you think growing up out here in Atlanta in the baseball scene and also playing at Westlake, how do you think that prepared you to be a baseball player on the next level, to be a college baseball player?
Well, luckily, I was fortunate enough to have coaches that told me to focus on development from a young age and not about winning because a lot of people are focused on winning, but they forget about getting better at the game and just playing the game to have fun. So, of course, I had coaches when I was younger that made me focus on, nah, instead of us winning the championship this weekend, I'm going to teach you how to hit from the left side or you're going to play all 9 positions. I didn't want to catch, but they made me catch. So it was just stuff like that that made me focus on development more than winning. And then, of course, when I got older,
I can hear you.
me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, me being as talented as I was, because I was developing at a young age, it allowed me to get to the higher level and just be ready to play and contribute to winning teams. So of course, my first year at Westlake, we had a draft pick, Miles Austin, who's at going to New Orleans this fall. We also had a lot of other guys that were contributed, but we didn't win as much as we thought we should have. And then 10th grade, COVID came. But 11th grade, we made history and we won the region for the first time. And I knew I could contribute to winning teams. So to go back to your question, I think the competitive thing in Atlanta is real. It's really real. Everybody wants to win, but at the same time, the people that are good, the people that are good individually, is because they focus on development more than they focused on winning, which helped them win. Because when you're a good player, you're gonna win games.
I like that. I like that. What was the experience like playing for your dad in high school?
It was awesome, honestly. Um, a lot of people didn't realize that was my dad at times because we kind of kept it so coach and son on the field. But on the field, he was coach. Off the field, he was dad. And a lot of times, he didn't even like when I started driving. He barely seen me besides at practice and on games. So it was a lot of just hey, I'm here to just supervise the situation. You do what you want. I'm gonna treat you like another player. He never treated me like I was his son on the field, or he was never too hard on me or too soft. He treated me just like everybody else. But at the same time, though, a lot of people feel like if you're the coach's son, like he's just supposed to give everything to everybody else and kind of just forget about you. So of course, at times he was trying to develop me too because hey, he my coach. So I
Right.
mean, at the same time, he was working with me too. And he's a big part of my development. He introduced me to this game, And even if nowadays, no matter how many trainers I work out with, I can always call Dad up. Hey, I need some BP. Hey, I need some ground ball. He's always right there. So from him being a coach standpoint, I mean, it was really fun. Um, just for him, I know for him it was fun. Just for him to see me grow up as a man into a man, going into a different world now, and just having his hands on me and being able to keep me humble. And
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I like to see that. I like to
yeah.
see that. Do you have any superstitions that you may have during games or practice or
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say. Well, I probably do have. I probably can't eat if I'm about to go out in the sun. I can't eat. Um, that's about it. But other than that, I think it's just, of course, don't step on the line, stuff like that. But for me, I think it's just every time I step on the field, I'm not out there just out there to be out there. I'm out there with a purpose, and I'm out there trying to prove that I'm the best player, no matter who's on the field.
I feel you. Like I told you earlier, I'm also an alum of HBCU baseball. Um, Sometimes I feel like I have to be, we have to be gatekeepers for the game, because a lot of people don't really know about the number of quality players that's come through baseball in the SWAC and MEAC, HBCUs in general, because football is the king.
Right.
So what does it mean to you to be now one of those torchbearers for HBCU baseball?
Um, Honestly, it means the world to me because I know there's kids looking up to me in my area and my younger guys in my high school that are looking up to me to provide the way because they don't have the exposure and they don't have the things that I had. So I think for me, it was just like, hey, older guys did this for me when I was a kid and looked up to me, and I looked up to them, and they helped me and put me on and gave me free game. So now it's my turn to do the same and give it back.
I like that. So if if you had any advice to give a recruit right now that's considering the HBCU, what advice would you give that young player?
Well, the first thing I would say is don't make anybody else's path your path. Like God has blessed you to be on this journey. This is a game, so treat it like a game. Don't treat it like it's life or death. And if you're thinking about going to HBCU, just make sure you go to a school that fits you. Don't go to a school that's look good because of the gear or they got nice uniforms or they got a nice field and they got nice facilities. Go to a school that fits you that you could go and play right away because the object of this game is to play. Nobody comes to watch a guy that's on the bench. No matter how much potential you got, you can't show your tools if you're not on the field. So go somewhere where you can play and have fun and play your game and not anybody else's game that's trying to compartmentalize you and make you their player. But play your game and go somewhere where you can fit academically too as well. Don't go somewhere where it's just kind of like a lollygag in a classroom. I wanted to go somewhere where it was a challenge. So go
I
somewhere
like
where you can produce on and off the field. And also grow into a man. The coaches, make sure you go somewhere where they gonna treat you like family, but they also gonna make you grow up and mature into a man. Coach Crenshaw, Coach Doolin, their coaches do a great job of even before I even step foot on campus, they've already shown me that hey, I'm gonna make this guy into a man before I make him into an MLB player, and that's what was most important for me because ball's gonna end one day, but I gotta produce for my family and I gotta be a man outside of the field. So I
all
would say
right.
those are the
So
biggest components.
all right, so what do you plan on majoring in?
I'm gonna major in agricultural business. If baseball doesn't work out to the highest level that I want to be able to like landscape major league fields or like
Okay.
returf. I know a lot of people are going into the turf thing with their fields now. That's a big business, so it's a lot of money there. So I want to be able to put turf on baseball fields or build a. I also want to start like a baseball team company, travel team, and build my own indoor cage and run that as well because that's a lot of business. So
Man, you pretty sharp there, man. At that age, I didn't have it figured out at nearly as much as you. I just knew I was going to Jack State to play baseball, man.
that's real.
Man, you mature well beyond your years, man, from this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you.
So, man, so what do you look forward to outside of the baseball as far as being a Jaguar down there? What other
Um,
experiences? What do you expect out of your college experience?
I think for me, it's just a new culture. I've grown up in Atlanta. I have family that's in Jackson, but I've never really been outside the Mississippi River. So I think for me, it's
Okay.
just a culture, not shock, but a difference. That's like, hey, there's other people in the world that it's not from Atlanta and not going to hit at DVAT, and so for me, it's just new culture, new people, meet a lot of new people. Like grow myself, because when you meet new people, you grow yourself, you learn yourself. Learn myself away from my family. I've been up under my parents for 17 years now, so it's time for me to step out as a man and learn some new things on my own. So I think those are the biggest thing I'm excited for outside the field.
All right. All right. So if it was anything you could change about your high school experience, what would it be?
Nothing at all. I feel like everything contributed to where I'm at this point. Um, I might be behind or ahead of some people, but I feel like my path is my path. So lately, I've been focusing on um, just worrying about myself and worrying about what I could do to be a better person every day, and just focusing on taking the small wins. Everything's not gonna be perfect. Of course, nobody's perfect, but just focusing on taking the small wins and learning from the losses. So just nothing. I wouldn't change anything because it helped me turn to where I am today.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Man, you sharp, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You sharp. Like I said, I wasn't nearly as mature as you were at that age. Man, I can see some great
Yeah,
things for you in the future.
thank you.
So we've kind of gone through the questions I had. But the some that I'm really interested in, I know you said both of your parents are Jackson State graduates and you're going to be a Jaguar. When you play Jackson State, will it be any kind of extra pressure you put on yourself, or is just another game?
Um, how do I say this? I'm gonna just put it like this. As a kid growing up, I really wanted to be a Tiger, and it didn't really fall through. So
Okay.
for me, uh, it's nothing against Jackson State or anything. I still got love for the coaching staff over there and everything. But for me, nobody's more personal to me. I just want to handle my business and go out there and play my game, of course. But for me, I think it's just everybody is on the hit list for me because this is my freshman year, so it's something to prove every game against everybody. I'm trying to stay on the field and be on the field consistently and just help my team win and make history at Southern.
Man. All right. So I saw you hit 493 this year and had 30 stolen bases. Man, that's incredible. Especially
Yeah,
6A baseball in the state of Georgia.
yeah.
Um, what type of routine did you have, or how did you mentally stay that sharp throughout the year to be able to hit almost 500?
Well, it started preseason. I went to hit out. I went to hit every day before school. Well, not before school, but during school. I have some free periods, and we have DBAT, which is about 15 minutes away from the school. So I used to go hit with my best friends Tamar and RJ every day during lunch, with their brother Tervel and Tervant, and they really helped my swing because from freshman year to senior year, like, I did a swing progression thing, and I had a bad habit of coming out of my legs. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I
It
know.
just helped me get stronger in the weight room. So for me, the routine was in the morning. I have a weight room downstairs in my house, so I hit the weight room really hard, 200 push-ups a day, and then I would go to school. I didn't have class until like 11:30. So at 10 o'clock, we have a little mini cage inside the school. I'll take about 200 swings off the tee, just a bunch of drills. And then from there, I would work off the hitting machine or somebody would soft toss to me. But other than that, I think it was just like outworking everybody when it turns of like after practice, I'm going to hit some more or I'm taking more ground balls or something like that. But for me, it was just like a lot of people feel like the game has to be hard and make it too hard. But you just got to keep it simple. So for me, it was just see ball, hit the ball out front, and try and stay on the inside part of the ball and hit the ball the other way because anybody can pull the ball. You hop out the womb being able to pull the ball. So for me, it was just like once I accepted that, hey, a double the other way is the same thing as a double to the pull side. That's when I start hitting for more average. But I've always been a high average hitter. Um, but this year I showed a little bit more power, which is I'm proud of myself because I work hard in the weight room and I got a little faster as well. My stolen bases jumped from about like 20 to 25 to 30. So
Yeah, and I saw y'all had some team speed on that team, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
y'all did. So see, they have you listed as a utility player, for your position. What is your primary position gonna be in college?
I'll probably play shortstop or second, but I might end up pitching as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
pitching.
yeah,
Oh, I ain't know you. Okay, I ain't know you get on the bump too.
yeah. I was a game 3 starter this year. So most of the time when we had tiebreaker or anything like that, was pitching.
Okay, all right. So what your repertoire looking like? Or you don't want to get that away?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. 4 seam, 2 seam fastball, change up, and a curveball, kind of curveball cutter thing. Kind of, it's like a slurve almost. Um,
Gotcha.
but I get up there, and I'm not really trying to get all fancy, and I'm just trying to compete, get my team outs and wins. I might not throw the hardest, but I'm just trying to get up there and just mix it up, throw strikes, help my team win.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So if you had to take a pick between a walk-off home run or a game-saving defensive play, you still win the game.
Yeah,
Which one would you rather have?
game save defense play for sure. I feel like for me, I don't know. Because I've had that game saving defensive play. So I know how that feels like. And it's like it's the best feeling in the world because it's like the game is in your hands. You seeing the ball come off the bat. It's like slow motion. The ball coming towards you. It's on you to make the play. But at the same time, I ain't never really hit no home run. So I might have to go with the walk off home run because walk off home run, everybody waiting on you at home plate. You toss the helmet off. You do whatever you want to do. Bat flip, whatever. So I think I'm gonna go with the walk off home run.
All right, if you had to pick a glove,
hmm
the Pro Preferred or
hmm
A2000 or any brand.
I'm gonna go Team Marushi for NIL purposes.
Okay, all right. So that'd be their bats too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What about cleats? What's your favorite? All right, so you play you. I know you said earlier about the turf thing. I'm gonna
hmm
jump back into something you said about turf. Um, I know you mentioned that you wanted to get in business with the turf, with
hmm
being able to put the turf in. Do you like playing on that stuff?
Well, this is where I'm at. I feel like it's different types of turf. Some people go cheap on the turf and it's like more grabby, which is where you get your ACL tears and stuff like that. But I feel like the lake point turf, I love playing on that because it's never too hot or cold. Um, but at the same time, grass it's nothing like a grass field. It's nothing like an
Right.
original field. Smell of the grass, fresh cut, dirt done. I mean, I like it, but I always love playing on a regular field.
That's what I like. Yeah, I love that grass too, man. Ain't nothing like the
Yeah,
smell of some fresh cut grass, especially
yeah,
when you just striped it up in the
yeah,
infield.
yeah.
Don't nothing look better than that, man.
Right.
Nothing. Nothing at all. So you spoke highly of the Southern culture. How many of those former players or coaches have you had the opportunity to meet outside of Jarrell and Ricky?
Um,
And how much has that relationship with them played into you wanting to be a Jaguar?
I would say I would say all those teams that were like went through that 3 year run where they won the SWAC every year, um, from like 1998 until I would say all those teams I know at least like 5 players on each team. So it's like a lot of those guys. Like once I committed to Southern, April of my junior year, it was like a lot of people I didn't even know was like, hey, you taken care of. Like, don't even worry about it. And that's what made me feel like, okay, this is where I need to be because it was like family. So I say a lot of people I know that went to Southern. Southern and Jackson State is like almost like uncle and auntie to me. So a lot of people I know went to Southern.
That's what's up, man. So this the last question for you.
hmm
Rank Fernando Tatis,
Okay.
Ronald Acuna,
Okay.
Mike Trout,
Okay.
Aaron Judge.
All right. So I'm gonna go Mike Trout one
Okay.
because of the longevity he showed and how he's always consistently performed, no matter how good or bad his team is, which shows that he's an actual dog. So I'm gonna go Mike Trout one. I'm gonna go Ronald Acuna two. His his juice and energy he brings to the game is like no other. Like you go to a Braves game, you see Acuna in the game, it's a whole different vibe than when Acuna not playing. So if Acuna has a full season where he's healthy every single game, and when he has, they've won. So I said Acuna too, just because of the juice he brings to the game. Not even talk about his tools. His tools are amazing. Plus power, plus speed, plus arm. But he hurt right now. But I mean, yeah, Acuna is two. Three, you said Tatis, Judge. Who else?
That's
Tatis.
out of Tatis and Judge.
I'm gonna go three Judge because like the numbers he put up this year is crazy.
Right.
And he lead the league in homers. His average is high. He strikes out a lot, but that's what happens when you're big and strong. I'm gonna go three Aaron Judge, and then Tatis four. I'm gonna say four because I ain't really seen Tatis this year, so like
Yeah,
I can
he's been
remember
hurt
what he
this year.
did. I can remember the plays he makes is like, wow, like this guy might be the best player of all time. But then it's like, I don't know. But his hitting is amazing. He hit for contact, hit the ball the other way, hit the ball pull side. So I'll say Tatis four. But it might change if Tatis get healthy and play.
Gotcha. Well, AJ, I mean, I didn't call you AJ. Well, KJ, man, I want to thank you for coming on. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to take up a lot of your time. Just wanted to get the people to see the new faces, as we call it, the official visit. This is our series that we're going to have over the summer with the incoming guys that are coming into HBCU baseball, and you happen to be the first of this series.
Yes,
I
sir.
thank you. I appreciate you for this, and definitely I'll be reaching out to you in the future,
Yes, sir.
possibly to probably get like a little background on how your experience going at Southern down the road with some other ideas that I have for the show. But man, I definitely thank you. I appreciate you for not only coming on the show, but man, for also being the torchbearer, man, for HBCU baseball in this new generation, man. It's a lot of guys that I think I speak for from a lot of different generations that say, hey man, we good baseball players, man. We just don't get that exposure.
Right.
And we want y'all to always take it to the next level and get that exposure and that success that we didn't get, So, man,
Right. And
anything I can do for
with
you, man, let me
social media
know.
now, you one click away from going viral, changing your life.
You right. And as much exposure as I can get for HBCU baseball, man, and also for you young men, it's bigger than baseball. So if there's
Yeah.
anything I can do for any of you all outside of baseball, man, I'm willing to help you all, man. So thank you again for coming on. Much success to you down at Southern on the Bluff. Like I
Yes,
said,
sir.
I'm cheering for you every game except for when you play them Titans. You know what I'm saying?
I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? So much
Yeah.
success to you, man. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Yes, sir.
And man,
I,
much luck in the future. And if it's
thank you.
anything you want to say to anybody out there, man, this is your time.
All right. First thing I want to say, shout out Spark Gang. And y'all go shot locked in. This is me and my partner Brand. We got everything from summer gear, shorts, hoodies, shirts, anything you need, we got for you. And
Okay.
I'm gonna just leave y'all with this. Everybody stay blessed, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
Appreciate you. And text me the website so I can put in the description of the video.
I got you. And everybody go follow me on Instagram at the KJ White on Instagram.
All right. Everybody here, Mr. Number One, KJ White, y'all. Westlake High School and future Southern Jaguar.
Yes, sir.
So the official visit is over. Appreciate you, KJ.
No problem. Thank you.
You up.